Hey Sunrise, so glad you joined us today in our weekly communication email. And we have started a 3-week little mini series on these videos, really unpacking what me as your senior pastor and our staff has been working on over the last several months. You know, I'm kind of funny, I had to make fun of myself a little bit. Last week in the video I said that I've been your pastor. What have we been working on for the last 3 months? And I sat back and I was thinking about the video and I thought, Aaron, that's so dumb. You've been the pastor at Sunrise longer than 3 months. And then somebody on our team says, hey, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And that is so true. And so actually I think it's been a little bit more like 5 months, but at the end of the day, there's lots of stuff that we've been working on over the last several months that I think would be really helpful for you to know about. And so last week we unpacked the first one, and it was a really kind of explanation of culture and how we've been working on our culture. And this week I'd love to share with you what we've been working on in this next installment of this video series, and I want to set it up like this. Foundations matter. I remember when Joy and we built a house back in Oklahoma, and they made a very big deal about laying the foundation, making sure the ground was flat, and making sure the foundation cured well. Why? Well, because foundations matter. If the foundation gets off, then the whole house could be off. The same is true in buildings, and honestly, the same is true in churches. And what's awesome about Sunrise is that we have a rock solid foundation. Literally over the last 20 years, the leaders that have gone before us, they were faithful to the Lord. The Lord called and they obeyed, and they had a vision to reach people for Christ in our community. And man, we love that. And I'm so grateful to be here today and to be able to do the work that we're doing as a staff, because the only reason we're actually even able to be doing what we're doing is because of the people who've gone before us. We are literally standing on their shoulders and building on the foundation with which they worked blood, sweat, and tears over. And so we're grateful for that foundation. And so what we want to do, what we feel called to do, is to build upon that foundation. So what's the thing that we've been working on? Well, specifically, we have been working on this area of vision. And the scriptures tell us that where there is no vision, the people perish. And it's been said before that everybody ends up somewhere, but few end up somewhere on purpose. And so we want to be the people that ends up somewhere on purpose. And so we have spent some time unpacking vision for our church. We've literally spent 3 days right here in this lobby several months ago unpacking what is God doing in our hearts, and what would it be that God would call us to do in the next 20 years of ministry here at Sunrise. And God, in those 3 days, united our team like honestly quicker than I ever even imagined it happening. And we just felt this unifying force around this vision of building something that lasts forever, building a church off of the foundation that we already have, and building a church for the next 20 years that you and me and us together would be so proud to hear Sydney, my 11-year-old daughter, as a 31-year-old girl in 20 years from now, here's the church that we're handing to you for you to take the baton on and take it to the next level. And man, that fires me up to think about building something that lasts forever. And so what we're going to do in the coming weeks, honestly in January, we're going to kick it off on January the 13th, a brand new series called Built to Last. And in this series, we are going to unpack in detail how we feel specifically called to build the church that lasts forever. And so we want to invite you to be a part of this. I'm telling you, every single week is foundational, and we want to encourage you to lean in 2019. Make gathering a priority. Experience the conversation around Built to Last in real time. It's awesome to be able to watch it online, and we encourage you to do that if you miss, but we want you in the room with us, and we want to fill the room with people who are excited about building something that will last forever. Man, one of the things that you can do too is right now begin praying for us as we begin to unload this. We are so thrilled. I'm literally, is it January yet? I wish I could talk to you now about this, but begin praying for us because we've got some exciting things to share with you. And the first quarter of 2019 is literally going to be the bomb, y'all. And so we want you to be a part of that with us. I'm looking forward to this week as well as we but we're kind of right in the middle of this Christmas season, and Christmas Eve is right around the corner, and we are going to unpack the second half of Luke chapter 2, and I'm telling you, it is going to be powerful, what we see with these angels singing in the heavens and the shepherds meeting the little baby Jesus and what they do. Man, it's compelling. The story is compelling, and so we want to invite you to be a part of this and get here before the music starts and get in as soon as we open those doors and flood to the front and fill your way in from the front to the back. And don't come empty-handed. Bring somebody with you and invest in people this week, and you give them those invite cards and invite them to be a part of what God's doing at our church. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to our second installment about what we've been working on over the last several weeks. Make sure and tune in next week for the final video as we unpack the final thing we've been working on over the last several months. Thank you. Love you. We'll see you Sunday.